So as long as I can remember, I've been obsessed with making music. The neuroscientist Stephen Levitin writes that babies' brains are pre-wired to learn music as much as they're pre-wired to learn language. And that was the case for me, and I was fortunate to grow up in a house with a big old piano that I could bang on as much as I wanted. So even more important than having a piano around was having a parent who played. My earliest memories are of hearing my dad practicing Bach and Debussy, and I would notice like how the keys on the right-hand side would tinkle and ring, and the keys in the center would chime, and the keys on the left of the piano would rumble and roar. We had this beautiful old Baldwin baby grand, and I spent hours underneath it, so this is the view that I had. I would watch his feet working those brass pedals and hearing the thunder and the tinkling and cascading above me while he practiced. So one day he did bring me up on his lap, and he taught me how to play. He taught me the secret tricks of how to play a scale, how to tuck my little thumb underneath my fingers so I could go up and down the keyboard with both hands. And suddenly a whole world of expression opened up for me. Following that, he showed me how to use my index fingers to play chopsticks. And after that, he taught me how to play the right hand part for Bach's Invention Number 8. Once I had that memorized, we played it together. I'd play the right hand part, he played the left hand part, and it was a revelation. Suddenly we were making music. And it was two parts working together to create something bigger than us. And they gave me a glimpse into why it is that music moved me and how harmony works. And I was immediately hooked and in love with this new ability. I could do anything, I felt like. Started piano lessons and worked hard at it for 10 years. And there was days in which I had to be pried away from the piano in order to go to bed. Here I am in my pajamas, and right before being snatched away to be forced to go to bed, I just insisted on staying up and practicing. At this point, I thought it's what I wanted to do for a living. I had these dreams of going to Juilliard, and I would work really hard at it. Sometimes you would just burn out on it, sometimes as well, by all of the practice. But I found great satisfaction in mastering difficult passages and in playing recitals and taking any chance to perform. To this day, music remains a great bond between my father and myself. But as I grew older, I found something was missing. At the time, piano didn't really impress the girls as much as guitar did. Fast forward, age 13, I saw a Rush concert on MTV, and I was hooked. As a classical musician, I was impressed and intrigued by their technical skill and the complexity of the songs, and by their passion and the charisma that they showed on stage. The three band members were likable and relatable, like older brothers, and they opened my eyes to new forms of expression. So much to my father's horror and disappointment, I got an electric guitar and an amp, and I found some friends with whom to form a metal band. We tried to copy what we saw on MTV, a lot of hair metal, whatever we would hear on records, and we logged hours practicing. When I plugged in and strummed power chords, I felt invincible. Now, unlike classical piano, there was no real roadmap for how to make music as a band. There's no sheet music for what we were trying to do. We pieced together songs as best as we could from records, from whatever we could hear. We had big ambitions, and we played whatever party we could or at the community center, and I can tell you now, we made an awful racket. But it was our noise. That's me on the right. In my mind, I was a muscled rock god with a flowing mane of hair, making huge reverberating chords and slashing guitar solos. And in reality, we were a bunch of skinny teenage dweebs. Fast forward, I grow up, go to college, grow rusty on the piano. I kept on playing guitar. One day, my first wife said to me, "Baby, I wish you wouldn't sing. It makes me feel so embarrassed for you." That hit me like a punch to the mouth, and it shut me up for the next few years. And after a while, I started going to Merlefest, a bluegrass festival near Wilkesboro. And it was around a bonfire that I rediscovered the joy of playing music with strangers once again. It was there that I heard the Avett brothers sing, "If your love laughs at your dreams, that's not as bad as it seems. It just means that one of them has got to go." That spoke to me. I eventually left my toxic marriage. I moved to another city. I built a life that had room in it for music. And I found friends to fill that room during potluck dinners where we traded songs late into the night. It was a revelation. Just like when I joined my dad to play Bach pieces, I discovered the ecstasy of joining my voice with others. We began writing songs. Eventually, some of us formed an Americana bluegrass band, and these folks remain some of my most beloved friends to this day. We all had day jobs, but we'd play at bars and festivals and farmers markets, wherever they would have us. Our music was happy and danceable and fun, and we get lots of energy coming back at us from audiences. We developed a small gay following in D.C., which is something I'm really proud of. You know, Bluegrass and Bears night, Thursday nights at a bar on H Street. It was fantastic. So next slide is one of my happiest moments playing music. And we were busking in DuPont Circle in D.C., and this homeless veteran in a wheelchair was listening to us and grooving out at to our music. And he totally surprised us when he emptied out all the change he'd been collecting through the day into our bucket. He says, "Man, you guys have made me so happy." It was fantastic. We wound up sneaking his money back into his bag again, because he needed it more than we did. So the discoveries and revelations never stop coming as I keep getting older. I mean, it's not all happy. As a musician, you experience as much rejection and indifference as you do love and acceptance. I keep coming back to it because of the moments of discovery. Those are like a drug to me. So I'm thankful to my parents for making it possible for me to discover music. As for my little daughter, I can only hope she nurtures a passion for anything that transforms and inspires her like music did for me, and I hope the same for all of you. Thank you.